Yeah. What's up, guys? It's another episode of Off the Post, and that sneeze wasn't caught, so we're all A-OK. And I think we're feeling a little, well, I'll let him tell you what that is. We're going to see what Jen is up to first. Hey, Jen, how have you been doing?
Tired. It's been a really aggravating week, but I'm glad to be on this because I need this right now, to be honest.
And it's good to have you on this. And who is this mysterious man right here?
Oh my God. Thank you for having me back, D. It's been a long time. It feels like a really long time. I don't know why.
Oh, I know it does.
But anyway, this is Luke coming at you from not Portland, Oregon, but Long Beach, California. Thank you very much.
Close enough.
Close enough. So west.
Oh, good stuff. Well, we're glad to have you back on, Luke, as always.
Thank
As you know, guys, you have anything you want to tell us, you can just use the hashtag WoSoTalk or just hit questions everywhere else we're on, all that social media stuff. So we're going to start a little bit about talking about the supporter group. And I guess you've seen the shirt, so that's going to give us the signs. It's going to be very fun to talk about this supporter group. Let's go over you, Luke.
That's what it says. Feeling thorny.
Tell us how you would think Portland supporter group stands out from any other supporter group, and what makes you guys just like, what do you guys do?
Well, I always thought this kind of talk with a caveat that I don't live in Portland, so I can't really participate in all of the amazing things that the Riveters do up there. I mean, they are really integrated into the club and into the city. They do things like fundraising. They do charitable work. They work with players. 1 week a year, they do like a community thing where they go out and rebuild gardens and all kinds of really cool stuff. I don't, unfortunately, get to do any of that. They also make these amazing tifos that you probably have seen. That we get to hang from the roof of Providence Park and raise and all these incredible things. One couple of seasons ago, they did this at the final game where they made a unique piece of artwork for every single player on the squad in the style of a different famous artist. So
Nice.
And it was just, you should check it out. You can find the link to it. Really beautiful artwork. It was painted onto, big posters and shown to the players who loved it. So it really feels like a communal effort between the fans. We're lucky enough to have about 10,000, close to 10,000 season ticket holders. So it's kind of crazy. A communal effort between them and the front office and the team, and it really and a city that loves soccer. So that all makes it really special.
That's very good, very good. Yeah, it just seems like the whole culture up there, even with the Portland Timbers, is really into the whole soccer community. They really have bought into it very well, and it just seems like it'd be a total different experience to go to a game up there. So nice for showing us a little bit about that and how you view it and how we all should view it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And now I guess we're going to get more into the performance of the team. We're going to talk about a little bit of how the team performed last year, some new signs.
Well,
oh, we lost DJ. That's not good because
that's not good at all. I feel like we're a ship without a rudder.
Oh, that's not good. This is going to be interesting. DJ,
does that mean, are we still on air? I guess we are.
Oh yeah, we're still on air. It's just DJ's the one that has the control over to stop and start it. So this is going to be interesting. So we'll just try to carry on as best as we can until he decides to come back.
Sounds good.
So we're going to talk about last year. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit before we went on air, but tell me your thoughts on how you felt the team performed last year.
Well, as we were talking about just before we came on air, I kind of felt almost like we underperformed even though we won the Shield. I look back at the games and I think, wow, I was at that game and I don't remember us, winning that well or winning by that margin or consistently performing that well. But then I remember sort of scrappy games like the one where we beat Seattle 1-0 with all of our players away at the Olympics, which was an insanely good game, but it wasn't the game of a championship winning team. It was a game of a bunch of reserves holding the line against, another very good team. So I think we underperformed in the sense, if you look at the players that we assembled, the ones that Mark managed to get, to basically rebuild the entire team from the season before. In a way, I kind of emotionally, I felt like we underperformed, but then I think we almost overperformed, given it was his first year in charge. It was the first year of a lot of these players coming together in the same team. I didn't expect us to win the Shield. I expected us to maybe finish third or fourth, maybe go out in the semis, maybe get to the final. I didn't think we'd win the whole thing, honestly, until right at the end of the season when I was on the bandwagon and I was like, yeah, we're going to win the whole thing. We didn't win the whole thing. We got caught out by a very, very young, very, very fast Flash team. And we didn't have we didn't have the method to cope with that. We didn't really have the fast defense. We got a little sloppy in midfield, and it was a very sad ending to the season. Really, it felt like we hadn't given it our best shot. And I actually spoke to some of the players after the game over a few drinks, and they basically agreed that they didn't feel like they'd really performed that day. But for the season as a whole, everybody was very happy with the season.
Yeah, so DJ just texted me. He said he was having internet issues, so this is going to be interesting. Hope he can get those resolved. But yeah, from the perspective of a non-Portland fan, I mean, they kind of started off a little bit at the beginning of the season. They
Right.
had the draws early on,
Right.
and I think they kept them down the standings for most of the season. But then the last few weeks, besides that weird game in Seattle that they kind of fell apart on, they were pretty much on a roll. They were just crushing everybody in their path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had a bit of a close call second last game of the season, I think it was, when they almost gave up the 3 points against the Flash, but they held on, and you know, they were really. And then that semifinal came out, and it was just it was great for me because I'm a Flash/Courage fan, but that has to be so hard for the Portland fans to come so close to get that shield, and then to go out with just kind of a flat performance in the semifinal.
Yeah.
Has to be tough, but you can't argue with getting one piece of silverware.
No, not at all. And you know, every year since the league started, you know, and I've been a season ticket holder since the beginning, the fans have said and the club has said we want to have that home playoff game. That was the kind of target. Even though the first year, you know, we actually won the championship, we didn't have the home playoff game, and we hadn't had one since. And then this was the first one, so it was like, yes, it felt like a fairy tale. You know, we get to play at home, and we're going to win the championship. Was kind of like what followed from that. It's like ordained. And then, as you say, there was a little bump in the road, which was the Western New York Flash, which was like, no, we're upstarts, and we have Paul Riley, a coach who used to be here, who's going to basically, you know, teach us a new trick. And unfortunately, it was amazing. If I was a neutral fan, I would have said that was one of the greatest games I'd watched in the league, because us cut and thrust the whole way until the end, and we ran out of time. Although I don't think we deserved to win it. But, it was a great game. Kind of draws towards the beginning of the season. It felt like we were just kind of treading water. We won a couple, and then it was tie. What's going on? What's with our shiny new offense and our shiny new midfield? And you know, all we're doing is scraping out draws. But I guess at the end, at least we had avoided defeat, and those points counted for something. I think we won the Shield on the last day.
Yeah, although it did kind of take a little help from Chicago beating Washington, but that is beside the point.
No, but it totally did. But you know, you had to be in that position to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, it was a great season, but not a great end. DJ, you back with us? Or are you still frozen?
Yep, I'm all good now. My computer is unfrozen. That was scary for a second. I was like, oh, I've never seen this error before.
All right.
You know, I've seen every computer error possible with this computer. So that was a new one. All right. We're all good, people.
Yeah, we were kind of freaking out. We were like, oh, what happened to DJ? This is not good.
I was like, I've never seen this error. That's why I was like messaging you. Like, I don't know what to do. I was like, oh.
That's
All
okay.
right, guys.
Jen took the reins and asked me some questions, so we moved on.
Yeah, we talked
Nice,
about
nice.
last season, so we're ready to go this season.
So we can talk about maybe a little bit players to look out for this year. How about that?
Sure.
How about that, Luke? What players you want to look out for this year?
Well, it's the player I really wanted to look out for was Rachel Hill, and then we traded her. So, I was like, wow, I always love getting a new striker, right? A new fast striker. That's what everybody wants. We want that woman who's gonna just steam the other team and put the ball in the net. And we got rid of her to the courage of all people who have like 3 amazing strikers already. So
Don't say the pride. We didn't get Rachel Hill. We didn't need her. We got enough firepower already.
I know, seriously. So I guess who I put down on my list was I'm looking forward to the return of Meg Morris, who I thought showed some real amazing touches the couple of games she was with us before she got injured. I think she's going to come back with a passion. I'm hoping that both Celeste Bourret and Haley Rasso are going to build on their time in Australia when they helped win the league. Especially Bourret, who I think is going to be a solid player. I mean, I'm biased because she went to Cal Berkeley and I'm from Cal Berkeley, so but I think she's a stylish player. And let's see who else. We're going to get Ashley Sykes mid-season, another good Australian. I can't say at this point that she's going to be a super impact player, but I think she'll be at worst a really solid reserve forward. And then I'm just hoping that Lindsay Horan and Amandine Henry continue to play well and hopefully to play even better than they did last season. I think last season was really a building for our team. A lot of new faces, new coach, and I think those 2 players in particular are going to show even more. I can't imagine Tobin Heath is going to be better because she was so good. I would hope that someone like Dani Brignas-Dottir would be better if she recovers, because I was disappointed with her last year, to be honest. I thought she didn't make as much of an impact as I had hoped. I thought Klingenberg was a little weak too, to be honest. So we'll see how those 2 players see whether they get better or not. But I'm really hoping our midfield knits and continues the form that it had at the end of last season when it looked really, it was kind of just purring along like a Rolls Royce. It was terrific. I would have loved to have seen another striker come in, but can't have everything.
Can't get everything you want. God dang it, soccer guy.
Well, I can't add too much to what Luke said, but I think a player every Portland fan should be keeping an eye on is AD Branch.
Oh yes. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, that was a blow for Portland losing basis because she had been so solid for them the past couple years. So her going to Norway was under maybe not so nice conditions. Don't really know the whole story. Don't want to speculate too much on what went on behind the scenes because I don't like to do that. But I think she's going to need to really step up and deliver because we saw all the way back in 2013 when she was with the Flash, she could have some really strong performances. I mean, I still remember the game that she had in Portland against Portland where it was a tie and the Flash looked tired and Portland was coming at them left, right, and center, and she just kept making great save after great save to keep it a draw. If she can find that form that she had then, I think it will be maybe even an upgrade over Betos, as strange as that sounds.
I agree.
If she can't find that form, you do have a decent backup in Britt Eckerstrom, another former Flash player. Imagine that. But your goalies, but your keepers are former Flash players. How funny is that? Who didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but did show kind of well in the few games she had. So if Branch does well, great. If not, I think Parsons has a quality second option to step in and take that job over. I think Megan Klingenberg's going to need to have a much better year because, as you said, she was kind of the weak link on the back line. I'm interested to see how the partnership between the Emily Squared develops, because that was actually a really good partnership last year between Sana and Menges. Don't know why Shauna's getting frozen out of the national team, but that's a chat for another episode. Because I thought she was one of the better rookies last year. So I'm interested to see if that partnership can further develop. Don't really have much else to add, except I just hope for Portland's sake that Sinclair's health holds up, because she is getting up there. She's had injury issues the last few years, so I think having a full season of Sinclair as healthy as she can is probably going to be what Portland might need to maybe get over the hump and get the championship. So those are my thoughts on players to look out for.
Nice. Sinclair, very good pick. Very good. And then now that you spoke about championship and needing a player to get over the hump, what are our expectations for this team, that how they're going to end this season? I was thinking more so championship with this team too, just how they're built. Like, as you said, a Rolls Royce. That's what it looks like in midfield. So if it gets rolling, I think this could be something nice. Luke, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the goal after last season, which, that's kind of a double-edged sword. You don't want to raise expectations too high, but I think every year in Portland they won a championship. And then last season they performed, so well. In fact, everybody thinks we were talking about how it's been kind of quiet off-season for them. We haven't really added many new pieces. And then we all have a tendency to be a little blinkered. We look at our own teams and we think, well, we look great this year, we're going to win, and tend to maybe underplay what other teams have done, how they've changed, what new players they have coming in. So, there's been a lot of upgrades on a lot of other teams. So when I say, yeah, I think we're going to win the championship, and then you look at KC, who has like two of the national team forwards back with them, or a team like the Breakers that have upgraded in every position pretty much. And, all of the teams are hoping every year to get better. So, I would love to see us get a championship. I'm always optimistic we'll get to the playoffs at least. But I really want to see the first half a dozen games to see how the teams are gelling before I could really make a firm prediction. I think we have all the pieces. We just got to see them really fit together this year.
Sounds good. Jen?
Yeah, that you bring up a point about every other team making upgrades, while Portland is kind of saying the same. And I had those same issues last year with Seattle, because they kept the roster almost completely intact while every other team got better, and it knocked them down into a 5th place spot. So that's my biggest concern, that while they were great, I'm not quite sure if being great from 2016 is going to be quite enough to carry them through the championship in 2017. So that is my biggest concern. Right now, I would have them at a 2nd or a 3rd place. Maybe, I could see them finishing top again. I could see them dropping out of the playoffs. So I'll just go with 2nd or 3rd right now.
Okay. Very nice. Well, Luke, do you have anything else you want to say about Portland? Wrap up things.
Well, yeah, let's see what other notes I made. I think we're sad to miss out on Savannah Jordan this year. Hopefully she's going to be with us in 2018. She chose to go to Glasgow and get a year of experience there. I think she's going to be good at every level she plays at. So can't wait for that. And maybe that'll coincide with not having to rely on Sink so much. Although, as Jen pointed out, she had a resurgent year last year. A couple of years before that, she was sort of lackluster. And I think she was really – I'm hoping she continues that form. I was going to note about the schedule. It's a more balanced schedule this year. We don't have to play the rain 4 times, thank God. I know we only play the Courage twice, which is probably good for us.
True. I didn't want to play Portland 3 times.
Seriously, let's avoid that nonsense. But we do have to play Seattle twice in Seattle, and we have to play Kansas twice in Kansas. That's not always an easy game in Kansas. They tend to get the best of us there. So it'll be interesting to see how the schedule plays out, but it seems a lot fairer for pretty much every team. More weekend games, fewer weekday games. So I'm happy with the way they laid it out this time.
And you mentioned Savannah Jordan. I'm surprised we didn't talk about her. I think her going to Europe was best for both her and for Portland, because that's one less piece that Parsons has to figure out how to fit into that puzzle. And also, I don't know if she was going to get much playing time this year, if at all. So going overseas and getting game time on a consistent basis would be better for her development than sitting on the bench and getting a few garbage moments at the end of games. So, it's disappointing for Portland fans to not get to see her this year, but I think in the long term it'll be it's the right move for both her and the club.
That's a smart way of looking at it.
Very good, people. Well, Luke, thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you on during playoff time or something of the sort.
Hey, hit me up. See what I can do.
All right, sounds good. That's another episode of Off the Post. I'm your host, DJ Redcap, and now it's time to wave, and away we go.